I've purchased every Scuba 50 Fathoms release over the past 6 months, and Swatch did not make that easy as these are only available at select boutiques. But here you will see the original 5 colorful oceanic releases. We have the Pacific, we have the Atlantic, the Arctic, the Indian, and the Antarctic, next to a later release, the Blackout Ocean of Storms. Now, honestly, these are a little steep at $400 a piece full retail, considering that they are a blend of ceramic and plastic. I think spending that much on a lightweight piece just doesn't make you feel like you're getting good value, especially when you can find awesome watches from other brands that carry ETA modified movements, mechanical movements, stainless steel watches. But that aside, these are an authentic Blancpain name, or a watch that bears the Blancpain name, and a near one-to-one image and likeness of the beloved 50 Fathoms diver. This is far and away the least expensive way to buy a Blancpain branded watch, same as how the Moonswatch was or is easily the least expensive way to buy an Omega branded watch with the Speedmaster name, image, and likeness. Now, unlike that Moonswatch, this Scuba 50 Fathoms is not a market disrupting smash hit. Although I like it more, they are far less popular and far less common. Now, that said, I love the idea of swatchifying an iconic brand or design, and I know not everybody agrees with me on that, but this is playful, this is fun, and the troll within me absolutely loves to see the brand snobs lose their marbles anytime one of these watches is released. So I do hope that Swatch keeps it up. Give me a Breguet next. Give me another Omega. Just keep it up with the co-branded watches. I think it's a lot of fun. Now, I'm going to rank these watches and just share my own opinion as an owner. But before I do that, I want to say that these are not the OEM straps that the watches come on. Now, Swatch provides these on NATO straps that are made from a recycled material, and they aren't bad as far as NATOs go, but they are easily the weakest part about the overall package. So I found a strap company who makes perfectly fitted rubber straps that are color matched. These watches look fantastic on these Wrist Buddies rubber straps. I think definitely worth the $75 to complete the model. Each strap will come with the correct hex wrenches just to remove the lug bars, as well as a replacement lug bar system with screws and a screwdriver, so everything that you'll need to properly upgrade the watch. Now, they make them in a host of colors for the Scuba 50 Fathoms, but also the Moonswatch 2, and Wrist Buddies gave me a discount code BW15, which will get you 15% off. The code also gives me a small commission, so if you want to upgrade your 50 Fathoms or Moonswatch at a discount while buying me a cup of coffee in the process, I would appreciate that. The link is below. Now let's get to the rankings. I thought the Arctic would be the coolest just from the online images that I saw at release, but here are my rankings based on how fun they've been or how easy I found them to wear over the past 6 months. Now, coming in last at number 6 is actually the Arctic. And that's a surprise to me that it comes in last because I thought this would be the best one, but it comes down to the body color. It's a tad cream and less tan that I anticipated or that it looks online. It's still an awesome piece. I love the no radiations icon, but it's ended up being my least favorite of the bunch. Number 5 is the Antarctic. This one was the hardest to find, and I think it's probably the most popular or the second most popular of the bunch. The hands are subtly blue. I love the old style logo and the fact that it does not have a date. It's very symmetrical. And maybe with the white body color, I would enjoy wearing this more in the summertime. But this one comes in at number 5. Number 4 is the Atlantic. This one is one of the most conservatives in the lineup in terms of being easy to match color-wise. This has the lovely 12, 3, and 6 o'clock marker style. I love the color matched date wheel. Each one of these watches actually has a color matched date wheel if it has the date complication, which is nice to see. And I really have nothing negative to say about this Atlantic iteration. Now, number 3 is the Indian Ocean. I thought this would be my least favorite, but it's been one of my favorites. The green and orange look fantastic, and I think this looks awesome with a black or gray shirt. I also like how this specific strap has a green stripe to tie it all together. The Indian Ocean variation has been a pleasant surprise for me. Now, coming in at number 2 is the Pacific. This one is the boldest of the lot, especially when I put it on the orange wrist buddy strap. This light fume dial is my favorite of the lot. And if you want a more muted look, it does tone down quite a bit when you put it on a black rubber strap as opposed to the bright orange rubber strap. And that leaves the number 1 pick, the Ocean of Storms. This one is the most muted. It's the most under the radar. And maybe that makes it the most normal feeling of these 6. From arm's length, I think it could pass for a DLC-coated Blancpain 50 Fathoms or perhaps a full ceramic one. This one is the easiest to match color-wise. I think it looks great in any situation. And unfortunately, my variation has a slight imperfection in the dial. It looks like a water stain on the crystal, but it's actually on the Sunray dial. Definitely disappointing to see on a $400 watch. But as far as the details go, all of these watches have surprisingly good bezel action. Nice and loud and snappy. I like the lume application. It's also nicely applied within the bezel, just like a Blancpain 50 Fathoms would have. The Swatch is signed in the case side, and that's a nice nod to the Blancpain because those full-size ones have Blancpain etched in their case sides. So kind of a fun Easter egg there. I also think it's great to see an open case back behind which is a System 51 movement. This is built entirely by automation. Each movement will have a free-sprung balance and 90 hours of power reserve. There will be no hacking seconds, and the rotor is a tad noisy, which is just something to be aware of if you are looking into one of these watches. Now, each variation has a slightly different rotor. The Ocean of Storms has the moon printed on the plates and bridges, which will vary from the other 5 oceanic variations. Now, I step back, and I try to be objective here, but all things considered, I can see why these are not quite as popular as the Moonswatch. The design is not as iconic nor as recognizable. The price is significantly higher, though I like these Scuba 50 Fathoms more than the Moonswatch. Not everybody does. These are, though, a noticeable step up in quality versus the Moonswatch. Now, I'll end with one thing. This 42mm case size is perfect. If there was a wide criticism for the Blancpain 50 Fathoms, it was that the 45mm size was just a little bit too large for most people's watch preferences. But this one feels perfect on the wrist. For reference, my wrist is 7.25 inches in circumference. And Blancpain did recently announce an updated 50 Fathoms model. And fortunately, they took that and scaled it down to 42mm, just like these Scuba 50 Fathoms. I think it looks absolutely amazing. In fact, I would not be surprised if it was the exact same dimensions when it comes to lug to lug and height and whatnot, though I will confirm that when I hopefully get one in for review. I think it's a great move from the brand. I think that scale down paired with the added general exposure provided by these Scuba 50 Fathoms will lead to more sales of this new sized down update. And perhaps that was the intent all along, the long game. The Moonswatch certainly did boost the sales of the Speedmaster, so perhaps the same thing will happen here with the Blancpain 50 Fathoms. Now, that all said, thank you for watching today. I hope you enjoyed seeing these watches all side by side. Definitely a fun release. Let me know if you have any specific questions, and I'll do my best to answer those below. And if you own any of these or are planning to buy one, definitely check out Wrist Buddies to upgrade the package. Again, BW15 will get you a discount on any strap that they offer. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Time for a snack. Prize inside. What the?
Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you.